So here's the wok burner I built 2 years ago. This wasn't my idea. I actually got this from someone named Andrew on YouTube. I'm gonna see if I can link his video up here. He describes the build process a lot better than I did. I haven't used it too much, but you can see there's a lot of the stuff in the garage, the dust, has made it a little bit dirty. But the sides, they still look good. This was made from a repurposed Ikea table. The steel is from metal supermarkets. The sides, the front and back are 20 gauge. This top here and this ring is 14 gauge. This is a combination of hot and cold rolled steel. I would have opted for stainless, but they didn't have any at the time. So it's primed and painted to keep it from rusting. It's just metallic spray paint. Ball valve, gas rated Teflon tape. The black pipe here is just from Home Depot, 1/2 inch. High pressure regulator, typical propane tank. Inside is just a 6 inch, I believe schedule 40, 2.5 diameter. Again, black pipe. There's a starter, a click starter, or a push starter, battery operated. Okay, there you go. Now you can see it better. So it does work. It was my first time using a stick welder, so a lot of these welds are pretty horrendous. I'll probably have to do it again. Yeah, so it's kind of a learning experience for me. Yeah, this whole lip here was to attempt to rest the wok on there when you're cooking. But let's fire it up and see if it still works. This is just a thin piece of metal that was bent to support a piece of wood here for a tray. It's sturdy enough, to put all your prep dishes. Lift it up. Well, originally it was, a lot easier to use, but it folds away nicely, nice and compact for storage. The modification I just made recently was this bar. The valve, the ball valve handle only ends here, and a lot of people like to use their knees in the restaurant to easily control the flame. In the future, the only modification I would make is probably to incorporate some sort of pilot system. I didn't show this in the video, but as soon as you get to a certain point, the fire just completely turns off, and you have to hit the starter again, and it doesn't always work, so when you're cooking it's pretty inconvenient. I have seen newer wok burner systems that have that pilot valve on the other side, so that's definitely an improvement I would make if I was to ever do this again. And some more welding problems. The wheels, they don't really move that well. Sometimes they bind up. Yeah, so didn't do a really good job there, but it does lock. Another modification I would make is this ring here. I would find a way to round this off on the top, because the way it is now, it's kind of hard to have the toss action. Yeah, the ones in the restaurant are usually rounded, so it moves a lot smoother. So when you try to do it here, there's a lot of dragging. You know, it drags, it doesn't move that well. It's also my bad technique. I'm not a chef by any means, you know. Yeah, here there's a lot of noise and stuff. It does work, but it could be smoother. I'm telling you right now, when you cook with this and it's on high heat, it's definitely not that easy. You know, especially if the wok is new, things will tend to stick to it. There's definitely a learning curve to it. And just for fun, this is the New Wave induction that I use indoors. And as you can see, it's rounded here. So in my opinion, it's a lot easier. Well, in theory, to do the motions. I'm not gonna use a towel. You know, I believe you usually grab it from here. Grab it tight. Again, it's hard to do with one hand and a camera. There are videos online on how to do that properly. So I do like using this indoors. It is nice to have two choices, because when you use this indoors, you don't have to use as much oil as when you're using the one outside. Yeah, when we cook outside of this thing, I usually have a whole bucket of oil to keep things, you know, to keep the wok slick and to keep things from burning. Again, there's a lot of videos on YouTube out there. But going back to the wok burner, I'm pretty happy making it. Still can't believe it was made from an Ikea table. If you have some DIY skills, I would definitely check out Andrew's video, or you know, all the other ones on YouTube. And then I'm sure you can make this too. Just be careful.